Team Envy's Wizzrobe arrives fashionably late to the Zain and Mango party with an electrifying win in the third week of Season 2's Summit Champions League. Today, we're going to take a look at this upset victory as well as the other insane bracket shakeups as we gear up for this final week of competition.
Yes, we agree! You did it!
Let's get recapped. How's it going, ladies and gentlemen? Turndownforwalt here. Week 3 of the Summit Champions League went down on May 2nd, 2021, and with bracket positioning in Week 4's double elimination tournament on the line, there was a lot of good melee to look forward to. Let's get things started with our Division 2 matches. Kicking off Division 2 was the pedal-to-the-metal Fox main Moki versus the young chic phenom Ben. This was the first time these two would face off in their melee careers, and they would jumpstart the evening with an insane last stock 5-game set. Ben looked positioned to complete the reverse 3-0 after some impressive adjustments, but it would be Moki clutching out the win to get a chance at Division 1 and the winner's side bracket for SCL Week 4. Following that was Albert, who had jumped into D2 the previous week in a 5-game set versus Lucky against Sunsei, who had jumped around divisions throughout the SCL season. These two would give fans one of the few Space Animal dittos we'd get this week, and Albert would look dominant with a 3-1 set victory. Hungrybox versus Callball would give fans a familiar Florida matchup. A lifetime 25-4 set record against Callball puts the odds in Hungrybox's favor going into this set, and the box would deliver here yet again with a 3-0 win. HBox would get another crack at Division 1 and the winner's side bracket for Week 4 against the loser of Mango and Gatsu, and Callball would have to fight to stay in next week in a relegation match against Magi. And for our final match of Division 2, we would have Kalamazoo facing off against Plup. KZ would get on the board first, but Plup would go on with 3 unanswered games to take the set 3-1. Plup, having been kept out of D2 in the first week by Kadoran, would now have a chance to make it into the coveted Division 1 with the set against the loser of Zain and Ginger. And unlike last week, KZ would be thrown into SCL's first Peach Ditto versus the highly anticipated Polish in order to stay in the bracket. The top 4 non-qualified finishers from Levo, Lucky, Polish, Nun, and Magi would face off against respective Division 2 opponents Ben, Kalamazoo, Sunsei, and Callball. Ben and Lucky would kick things off as our first match to decide who stays for the final week of SCL. In similar fashion to Plup Keizu, Lucky would narrowly take the first game, followed by some huge adjustments from Ben to bring the Sheik player into the bracket for next week.
Hey Ben, how are you feeling after that set? Definitely a back and forth set, a lot of SDs and crazy situations. Yeah. What was your thoughts going through that?
Just relief. I know I made a bunch of goofy faces there, but I wanted that so bad.
Sunsei would pick up the pace in his set versus Nun to ultimately take the set and his spot in next week's bracket with a 3-1 victory. Callball and Magi would deliver another competitive 5-game set on the week, with Magi edging the Floridian out to move up to Division 2.
For me, Melee is a game in particular that just feels really good for me to play. I really enjoy L-canceling. I enjoy going fast and hitting all my tech, and for a while I forgot about that, and that kind of took away my love for the game for a while. But once I rediscovered it again, it was much more I don't know. I was able to just dedicate my passion again to the game, and I think that's a really important thing to hold on to.
The final set to decide the loser side bracket for next week slowed the tempo down with SCL's first ever Peach Ditto, Kalamazoo versus Polish. Polish impressed everyone in his Levo run just a few days prior, and after a grueling, almost 40-minute 5-game set, he would earn a spot in the main bracket.
Finally throws it, but...
Oh, Keizu shaking his head.
No!
That's it. It's over. It's over. Yeah, it's definitely over.
Oh! Rip. What a long set of best of 5 Peach Ditto that Polish pulled out.
Over in Division 1, we would first see Golden Guardian Zain versus Luminosity Ginger. This would be just another display of Zain's dominance against the field with a 3-0 set win to advance to semifinals. Ginger would draw Plup as his opponent for D1 relegation, and with their last set at Smash Summit 10 being the first and only set win Ginger would have over Plup, he'd have his work cut out for him. Plup came correct in this set, swapping divisions with Ginger following another 3-0 sweep. Only thing I can say about that is, damn, Plup's kinda tasked, bruv.
I feel like this game is it's obviously not easy to get good at, but it's the easiest it's ever been to get good at right now. You have access to playing whoever you want with almost no lag. You can play anytime. There's so many resources online for how to get better. Just gotta play a bunch though. If you want to get better, just play a bunch and do research, I think.
On the other side of bracket, we'd get Mango versus another Falcon main, this time Gatsu. A different player would net the same results though. Mango ran through Gatsu in an under 7-minute 3-0 set to also advance in bracket. As for Gatsu, he would go up against Hungrybox to hold his spot in Division 1. Gatsu had won their last encounter at East Coast Fridays 156, but that was his first and only set win lifetime. At the conclusion of a tense 5-game set, Guts and 20GX would prevail. Gatsu held his spot in D1, and HBox would be forced to fight his way through the losers bracket next week.
I always felt like I never did too terribly versus him in general, so I was always like never really that scared of HBox, but I mean, when he hits you, he destroys you sometimes, so.
Our remaining 2 quarter sets were both Fox Falcon matchups, SFAT versus Wizzrobe and IBDW versus S2J. Wizzy would handily take his set 3-1 to advance to his bracket demon Mango, while IBDW would also take a 3-1 win to face Zain. This left SFAT to face Albert and S2J to face Moki as our final relegation matches to decide the winners and losers side brackets in the following SCL week. SFAT's set versus Albert would go firmly in the CLG Fox's favor with a quick 3-0 to lock in his place in Division 1.
I think I've finally breaking through the Falco hurdle, at least internally. So I wanted a shot at Mango. I'm pretty upset that I lost to Wizzy and I didn't get to play Mango, but...
As for S2J and Moki, their set would be much more competitive, going the distance in 5 games and coming down to the last stock to decide division placements. Moki would barely edge S2J out here to return to Division 1 for the second time this season.
I think that's a big issue of why this has been like harder for me in general, like the SCL, just because I know who I have to play for so long, and like it's I don't know, I stress out over that a lot. Like, oh, I have to play this guy. Like, oh my god, am I gonna be ready? So I'm just gonna try to like take it slow. I will like play people who play the same character and whatever, and like try to take notes, but like not stress myself out too much.
For sure.
The plan.
In winter semis, we'd see some familiar rematches in Zain versus IBDW and Mango versus Wizzrobe, but things wouldn't go exactly as expected. Cody would show some signs of life with a Game 3 win versus Zain, but it was too little too late as Zain would clean up the set 3-1 and advance to Grand Finals for the 3rd week in a row. Mango and Wizzrobe was supposed to be a foregone conclusion, but the stoic Falcon player shocked everyone. After an exhausting last game, last stock set, Wizzy would clutch out the win and become the first new face in Grand Finals for this season. This would be Wizzrobe's first ever win against Mango since their first tournament encounter all the way back in 2014, overcoming a 21-0 streak and giving Zain an unexpected opponent for Week 3 Grands. Zain would confidently take the first game, but in what many thought would also be a foregone conclusion, Wizzrobe would surprise everybody to take this set all the way to Game 5. And here's where the real chaos began. After a very close back and forth, Wizzy and Zain showed us the full spectrum of good melee to bad melee, clutch plays to spaghetti misplays, and heart-racing tension. With some intervention from the melee gods, Wizzrobe would take the tournament in a nail-biting final game that, on more than one occasion, was uncomfortably close to swinging in either direction. With Wizzrobe making history in this week, there really was only one question left to answer. What do we say to the God of Death? Not today.
This could be it.
Doesn't hit.
The Dipper misses!
Doesn't hit.
A phantom up air!
Living. The Nair doesn't hit again.
He finds one.
Oh my god, he red fired up.
There's a grab!
Wizzy's sick!
Oh.
Wizzy's. He grabbed the this is still going.
I can't handle this.
Why are they alive? Nairs.
There it is.
Forward tilt.
One more time.
And that's
get up attack.
That's it!
Oh my god!
Wizzy defeating the 2 top players in the world right now, back to back. Mango going down, Zain going down, and Wizzrobe takes SCL.
This installment of SCL brought hype unlike any of the weeks before it, and it was the perfect lead-in to an SCL wrap-up. With Week 3 in the books, we now have our finalized seeding for the 4th and final week of competition. Here's what the bracket will look like going into the finals of SCL. Week 4 is scheduled for Sunday, May 9th, and you're not going to want to miss these matches. With the format change to a double elimination bracket, as well as invitations to Smash Summit 11 on the line, it's shaping up to be an epic conclusion to an action-packed month. I know I can't wait, and I hope you all tune in for more incredible Melee. We'll see you then.
Shout out to Team Envy, my sponsor, the team I play for. Shoutouts to my fans, and shoutouts to people who have been helping me get better a lot, which is there's a few people, but I think the main ones are like Chef Rockman, Sechi, and my friend Man Ray.
Hey, thanks for watching this episode of Recapped, and a very special thank you to all the patrons supporting the channel like Avishua Stein, Brian Malumpi, and Connor. If you'd like to see more content like this, consider supporting me on Patreon or pick up some merch over at turndownforwalt.com. Thanks again for watching, and see you next time.